Hey comic book fans, today we're talking about Divinity issue 3. If you guys enjoyed these videos, if you guys like me talking about these comics, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps. Now, I'm glad, right? I'm very happy that I put myself in the position and that you guys allow me to talk about these comics, because Divinity, this series is one of my favorites, and what happens in this issue is absolutely insane. Now, the Team Unity, right, which is the other heavy hitter characters within the Valiant Comics universe, they've come across Divinity, right? They don't know who he is, they just understand that he has power unlike anything they've ever experienced, and that he needs to be dealt with in their opinion. But we get more backstory on Divinity and his journey into deep space, into the end of space. And he didn't actually go up there alone. He was actually up there with two other pilots, right? Two other astronauts. And they find this woman, right? They go so deep in space that they find this cosmic being of sorts. And she targets specifically Abram, right? She doesn't go after the other two or anything. She goes after him, and he ends up having to take off his helmet because he couldn't breathe. And then it looks like his insides is like coming out, right? It looks like a very painful process on whatever he went through. But she's the one that granted him these powers and abilities and miracles. And the Unity tried to pretty much lie and said they know who he is and that they just want to talk. But Abram cuts to the chase, and he tells them, you guys didn't come here to talk. You guys came here to contain me, right? You guys came here to stop me, to harm me. And right after he says that, they go in for the charge, right? This is like a 4v1 situation. The unfortunate part for them specifically is that they underestimated how powerful Divinity is, and his power is displayed in such a unique way, because he doesn't like physically destroy them or anything. He leaves them in these particular places, right? He leaves them in these unknown realms to say, but it's mentally, right? He pretty much just stopped them in their tracks physically and then sent their mind somewhere else. Now, one thing I will give credit for is that the character Ninjak understood this. It took him a very long time, because whatever state they are in, time moves differently. So it took him years to understand what Divinity did to him, and he ended up having to, meditate and use his ability and able to pretty much gain back his reality, like gain back his sanity in a way. And Ninjak was the only one that had the ability to accomplish this in a way. And we see what he does to Exo Manowar, right? With somebody else who also came in for the attack. And we see where he leaves him. He stops them in their tracks and sends their mind somewhere else and leaves them asking, how long have I even been here? It's very incredible what he does to them, because clearly Divinity has the power and the ability to destroy anything he wants, but he doesn't do that, right? Even in the face of beings that are trying to destroy him, he understands that they are way lesser than he is, and he just sends their mind to somewhere else, stops them in their tracks, sends their mind somewhere else, and leaves their body just physically sitting there, stranded pretty much. And the character Ninjak plays a very special part, because not only does he is able to gain back his reality, he finds the others and tells them to listen to him very carefully and listen to what they need to do if they want to be able to get out of here. Ninjak's the only one that has the, I would say, equipment, the mental state to even somewhat come close to Divinity's power when it comes to, not just going insanity or, realizing that you're not where you actually are supposed to be. And the story moves back and forth because we go back to the origin of how Abram got his powers. And the other two astronauts pretty much vanished from him. He's the only one left there. And he even leaves to go back to the ship. And it's a very interesting process, and it's a very interesting way on how he got his powers, because the being that gave him his powers is unknown. That's not very explained upon or expanded upon in this particular story. He just gets these abilities from her, and he explains it on maybe it was something deeper that she saw within him, which is why she targeted him specifically. But Abram just wanted to get back to Earth because he promised, right, his girlfriend, and the mother of his child, that he will come back, and she was, betting on him coming back. But because that obviously never happens, right, he doesn't come back within the time span. We see, I want to say he's using his powers and abilities to mess with time itself, just so he can see her again, and just so he can see his daughter again. Because within these next few pages, it's not really explained to us, but we really just witness what happens, and we get the origin of, when he actually comes back to Earth, right? When he rushes back, the Pacific time, and right after when he comes back to Earth. And he understands his powers very quickly. That's a part of this book that they shows that he understands and he controls all of his powers and abilities, like right then and there. And so it's not just the fact that he got powers, right? It's not like he had to really train for a long time. He got his powers, and it did not take that long for him to understand them, like, and become a literal god in like moments. And we see him when he comes back and he's walking, and we see his wife, and it is his wife in her, youth. And we see him falling down to his knees hugging her. It's actually a very sweet, moment that, within those panels, right? Because we actually get to see how much he loved her. And then we see his daughter as well. And I really think this is him, I want to say this is him messing with time itself, just so he can see them in this moment. But I feel like they're a conscience as well. And what happens in the next book is very wild. But that's the ending of this one. That's the last page and panel of issue 3. And if you guys enjoyed this video, thank you guys for watching these videos. Like, share, and subscribe for more. And thank you for watching.